based on these principles to get you to deal with things like stress. How many of you have stress? Okay. Wouldn't it be nice to get some ideas on how to deal with that? How about decisions in life? How do you make your decisions? How do you know, where do you come up with the ideas for those decisions? And then how do you know if they're right? We talk about how to do that from the inside out. Think about all of the greatest creators throughout history. Leonardo da Vinci. Who's heard of Leonardo da Vinci? Not everybody. Okay. Or are we too tired to raise our hands? Okay. Where do these great ideas come from? Whether it be in art, in science? How many people have heard of Einstein? Do you know what he said about his theory of relativity? He said that it just came to him one day. He'd been working on the ideas for years, but he couldn't get it. He didn't know the answer, and one day, there it is. And then it took him years to figure out how to explain it to others. He knew it was true, but he then had to go through the steps to show others. All great ideas come from in there somewhere. Up there, in there, out there, whatever you want to describe it as. It's a place that you can access. And Yogananda said something that's really valuable to us. A book reviewer, a book critic, came to him one day and asked him, can creativity be accessed at will? And he said, yes, take down this poem. And he then said a poem. And later, he put it in a book of poems. And when the book of poems was published, a critic said, I really enjoyed this book of poems, but I can't help quoting one in particular. It's just so beautiful. And that was the poem that he quoted. You can access the solution to virtually every life challenge from inside yourself. All we have to do is take the time to learn how to do it, and that's what the science of yoga is all about. Most people think that yoga is about yoga postures. Yoga postures is just one small part of a much larger body of knowledge, and it's immensely practical. We talked about the components of success, energy. How can we have more energy? Didn't you feel better when we started? And I know it seems silly sometimes. It's outside of the scope of what we usually do. But when we went, I am awake and ready, didn't it work? Didn't you feel more energetic? And why did we hesitate to do it? What are people most afraid of? What is the greatest fear that people have? It's been studied. What? Death? That I would have thought that would be the case. It's not. Failure? That's not it. What? Criticism? We haven't got there yet. Public speaking is the number one fear that people have. Why would that be the case? Because of these other things. We're afraid that other people will think we're weird, strange, ignorant, funny. So what does that do? That gives the power of our success to other people. We have decided that life, the opinions of others, everything outside of us is going to determine whether we're happy or not. And let's do another experiment. Where is happiness found? No hesitation. Inside. We all know that's true, don't we? And yet, where do we look at? We look for happiness Outside. It doesn't make sense, but we can't help ourselves. Why? Because that's the way the world is made. It encourages us to think that out here is going to be happy. And we then begin to define experiences. This is good and this is bad. This is a good experience, this is a bad experience. Is that true? Okay, let's look at this. Getting in a car accident. Is that good or bad? Bad. I think most of us would say that's bad. Okay. But is that true? Well, let's see. So you get in a car accident and you go to the hospital and you're in a room with somebody else and you meet them and you become friends with them and they offer you a job that has so much more potential than where you were. Was that accident good or bad? The truth is that the accident is neutral. And in fact, all life experiences are neutral. It's what we do with them. Which direction are we going? Are we going towards more energy, more enthusiasm, positive attitude, more horizons? Or are we shrinking down into limitation, which leads to depression, which leads to alcoholism, drug addiction, poor relationships, loneliness? Life is directional in nature, expanding and contracting, happy and sad, energetic, slothful, not energetic. We can utilize our understanding about this truth in order to develop the skills, the personal skills that will lead to our success in life, because we know the number one success in life is to be happy. And one of the greatest components of that is to love and to be loved. So if we want, you see, we're used to thinking that, okay, I want to the experience of love is way up there on the scale of things that we want to experience. If we really feel love all the time, we're going to be happy. So, will you love me? Will you love me? What's your decision? Will you love me? Will you love me? We go through life thinking that I've got to get this person to love me in order to experience love. That's a mistake. The way to experience love all the time is, I love you, and I love you, and I love you. And how you feel about me is really immaterial. It would be nice if you loved me. But the reality is that I get to choose love. That's why they say that goodness is its own reward. Because you live in goodness flowing through you. You don't need other good things to happen. And when you create, what is a magnetism? You know what magnetism is? Magnetism is a lot of energy here, and that has an influence on others. And magnetism isn't just about electricity, it's about energy, and all of life is energy. Therefore, everything has a magnetic vibration and a magnetic interaction. So if your personal magnetism is selfishness, greed, I don't care about others, when you go in to see a customer and you go like this, you are sending that to them. You're experiencing it and you're sending it. They get it. They read it. But if you're positive, energetic, enthusiastic, caring, loving, and knowledgeable about your products and the benefits of those products, then when you come in and you meet these people and you shake their hand and you exchange magnetism, they get sincerity. People know. Don't you know? If somebody walks up to you and says, "It's really great to see you. Really great to see you." Do you believe that? No. And how many times do you go into businesses, you talk to telemarketers, you know they're just going through the motions. You know that you might as well be talking to a tape recording. Do you want to be a tape recording? I'm from the bank, financial planning. Let's take step 1, step 2, step 3. Doesn't matter who you are as a person. Just go through my process and make sure that are you the decision maker? Do you need your husband or wife to be here? I don't want to come back. Here is the secret of life. You have your attention. Choice. We get to choose. We get to choose what kind of life we're going to live, how we're going to approach it, and we actually get to choose whether we're going to be happy or not. Regardless of whether we have accidents, make money, all of those things are secondary. We choose in each and every moment whether we're going to be happy or not. The problem is that some people are subconsciously on autopilot. I'm in this groove, I'm used to this, I've accepted that this is who I am. And you can choose that, but you can also choose something else. You can choose to continually grow your spirit, your heart, your understanding about yourself and others and how life works. You can increase your understanding about your business. I'm not suggesting that you should go into a closet somewhere, meditate, and expect the checks to roll in from all your customers. But I am suggesting that if you were to spend time exploring your inner being and cultivating it, when you interact with your customers, they will know that they are in the presence of a person that has integrity, respect, love, appreciation, honesty, joyfulness, all of the things that engage us in people. We have all met people who we consider to be extraordinary. And almost all of those extraordinary people represent these qualities, these positive qualities. Yes, there have been some great bad people in history, but those people are great because they're really energetic, not because they've done something good. And their greatness is very limited. The people who have really survived through thousands of years are the saints. Krishna, Buddha, Confucius, Jesus Christ. Why are these guys remembered? Not because of things that they did so much in the lives that they lived, but as they were so powerfully connected, magnetically charged by the universe, that their energy is still going. I'd like to do an experiment here.